Come on, stream. I believe in you. There we
Alright.
go.
So who is doing this? Is this you or me, Willie?
This is you.
You know what? I take it back. You haven't talked enough this run. Do it. Give us an old man voice. Watch it not be an old man.
Yeah. I'm half expecting it to not be.
Do an old man voice anyway.
May it be granted that what is done before the gods cannot be undone by man, but can be undone with a knife. Before I proclaim you joined by marriage, thou must seal this pact with a kiss and also a knife.
What the fuck is with this minister and knives? I've heard these words so many times before, but here, in front of so many people, they seem to ring even louder. Still, I will not falter. The crown princess is always confident. I take a step forward to clasp Klaude's hands in mine, but before I can even place one foot from the other, he's already stepped so close to so close our noses brush. It's all I can do to keep from gasping when he puts one hand on my back and tips me backwards. This is our first time seeing a wedding, too. Klaude smiles at me mischievously. He's so close I can feel his breath on my cheeks. A ripple of sound runs through the crowd, and I cannot tell whether it's laughter or chattering. This wasn't in the rehearsal. I whispered the words into his ear, my cheeks flushed.
The rehearsal was very boring. I think I have the leisure of breaking some rules.
Do not have in me to protest. Klaude always has a way of assuaging my worries. He is himself no matter the circumstance. His confidence might sometimes be overbearing, but it's also inspiring.
I'm only so bold because I have such a confident queen.
You may now kiss the bride.
Neither of us hears the minister. In fact, Klaude plants a kiss on my lips before he even finishes his sentence. Applause echoing around us is nothing but background sound. All I can feel in those single heart-stopping moments are Klaude's lips on mine, and his gentle warmth all around me.
I love you, my beautiful queen.
Titles aside, his words make my heart swell with pride. I kiss him again on the cheek before placing my forehead on to his. I love you too, Klaude. Chapter 6! Promise.
Should I bring up the elephant in the room?
Oh, okay. And that is why, come what may, my promise to you will always hold firm. I will always be dedicated to you, the people of Brigantia, above all else.
The atmosphere in the room is relaxed as Lance finishes up his speech. The soft silence that had been the backdrop of his speech breaks apart when we all applaud. That was perfect, Lance! Lance bends into an elegant bow and smiles at her.
Well, I had a good teacher.
Emmeline puts her hand to her chest and smiles sheepishly. But I only just listened. Lance's eyes seem to sparkle when he looks at her.
Having someone around who knows how to listen is incredibly valuable.
Emmeline's only response is a blushing smile. In the end, I found out that Emmeline offered to listen to Lance's speech in exchange for his helping her learn that Brigantian dance. Apparently the trade worked. Emmeline and Lance danced together at the wedding, and it seems like Lance has improved his speech by performing it for Emmeline. Lance puts his head on his hip as he glances at Klaude.
Yay or nay?
You passed. You didn't look as stiff as a board, and your smile was subdued.
At least I know how to memorize my speeches.
Klaude waves a hand dismissively at him.
Spontaneity is not a bad thing. This means I know how to improvise.
He winks at me.
Besides, Lucette is excellent at memorizing things. We're unstoppable when we give speeches together.
Or maybe you could learn to actually sit down and memorize what you need to say.
Darling, do you really have so little faith in me?
My only response is a too sweet smile. When I turn back to Lance, that smile has become gentler. That was a great speech, Lance. I'm sure you'll make your father proud.
Thank you, Princess Lucette. Oh,
He smiles a little awkwardly.
I mean, thank you, Lucette.
Lance is still having difficulty not using titles for my siblings and I. He's technically my brother-in-law now.
Oh, shit.
Sorry to cut in, but it is almost noon, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Lance gives another bow and smiles.
I'm going to head back to my room and make sure the servants have taken care of my luggage. I'll meet you all at the gates in 10 minutes.
He excuses himself before the rest of us can follow after him.
Rod very quickly kicks his ass out the door.
Rod eyes his disappearing bag with clear suspicion. What is it, Rod? He glances at Emmeline and shrugs.
It's nothing.
He sighs as we all leave the dining hall. The palace is bustling at this time of day. Servants walk through the halls, carrying utensils in preparation for lunch. Rod and Emmeline have already gone on ahead of us. Emmeline seems eager to meet Lance at the gates first, and Rod mentioned that he had some quick errand to run before meeting us. I noticed a few servants heading to the gates with luggage, and figured they must be the men Lance was referring to. It'll be strange not to have Lance here anymore.
Lost in thought, are we?
Klaude's voice startles me from my thoughts. I was just thinking that's the closest I've seen you and Lance since he's visited.
Because we're not at each other's throats.
I poke his shoulder. Exactly that, and it's been nice seeing you two get along.
Rivals maybe, but Lance and I are brothers. We always make up. We're close that way.
I was beginning to have my doubts, but I'm glad. I smile at him as we continue towards the gates.
She continues to prove she doesn't know how to sibling.
Emmeline and Lance are already there when we arrive. The two of them face each other at the carriage doors.
You're welcome to visit whenever you like, Emmeline. I'm sure Father and Mother would love to have you.
Oh, I'd love to visit. After all the stories that you've told me about Brigantia, I can't help but think it must be a magical place.
Magical
yes.
in a different way from Angiel. I think you'd enjoy it.
He pauses, looking thoughtful for a few moments.
I suppose I'd have to introduce you as my sister-in-law's stepsister?
Emmeline laughs. It sounds like a mouthful. Sister will do just fine. Lance's expression seems to crumple into something more sullen.
You know, it really is a shame that you are...
Here he comes!
What's a shame?
Rod, who has been hovering by the gates watching the two of them, steps up to the carriage with his eyebrows raised. I won't really call that raised.
Oh, it's nothing.
Lance smiles softly and says nothing else.
It is now that I'm here.
Lance pauses to turn to Klaude and me as we approach the carriage.
Ah, there you are. Karma, Lucette.
He takes a step forward and clasps Rod's hand in his.
Oh,
He shakes it firmly with a bright smile.
I expect you to listen for news of my speech. I can assure you that people will be praising it all over the realm.
Klaude looks back at him, amused.
I'll hold you to that standard then, and if anything less happens, I'll be severely disappointed.
Don't worry, Karma. I'll make sure that my speeches make yours pale by comparison.
And how can my speeches be pale by comparison when I'm naturally charismatic?
Oh, I think Lucette would be more suited to giving speeches than you.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
If you challenged me to a speech competition, I would no doubt win.
Lisette has an eloquence and wit that little of us possesses, and even more impressive, she has the strongest, most competitive heart I've ever seen. And
Lance pulls his hand away and holds it up, as if to bar Klaude from speaking.
Yes, I've heard it all before. You've already told me many things about her. Days worth, in fact.
I could never run out of things to say about my lovely...
You mean wife?
Wife is so underwhelming. If I were to call you anything along those lines, I would much rather say heart. Or maybe my other half, or...
I put my fingers to his lips to silence him. If you talk much longer, Lance will never leave. Notice the carriage has already been prepared. Lance is to ride through the main plaza before heading out the city gates and back to Brigantia.
Ever the flatterer.
Same goes to you.
Lance takes a step back towards the carriage doors, but then pauses again to look back at us.
I'm looking forward to it. To working with you two, I mean. We may not be seated on thrones now, but once we are, well, I look forward to the competitions. Let us all promise to inspire each other through friendly competition going forward.
It's a promise. Klaude says the word at the same time I do, and I can't help but turn away with a scowl when he grins at me. Wait, why is everything related to the crown suddenly a competition? Klaude and Lance eye each other with mirrored confidence.
I'll be expecting good things from you, Llama.
You too, Karma, and...
He turns to me with a gentle smile.
Once things settle down and you have the time, please do come visit Brigantia, Lucette. I know you could never be there for long, but I'm certain everyone would appreciate your presence very much. All they have right now are rumors of a beautiful and refined Crown Princess of Angiel.
I'll try my best to visit when I can then. Lance turns to Emmeline and Rod.
And Rod, Emmeline, you're always welcome to visit whenever you'd like, so please do.
He takes a step into the carriage and then turns and winks.
And do right. I'll be terribly offended if you don't.
Of course, his farewells are just as dramatic as his brother's. After we all say our goodbyes, Lance enters the carriage and disappears from sight. The large, elaborate carriage trundles away slowly. Emmeline and Rod leave first. The two of them engage in some quiet conversation that I cannot hear. Emmeline looks equal parts thoughtful and sad, while Rod appears more quizzical. Klaude and I stand there for a few brief moments longer, watching the carriage disappear in the crowded plaza. Even here, people love Prince Lance of Brigantia. Once it's out of sight, Klaude turns to me and takes my hand. He plants a kiss on the back of it.
Shall we go, my lovely queen?
I clasp my hands in his and lean on his shoulder. Yes, let's go, Klaude. Two of us walk back towards the palace together.
Oh, was that it?
And it's a llama.
Yeah. All right.
Drama
Real
llama.
quick. Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
No, because we gotta go play the other ending.
No, this is super quick, I swear.
Okay. Yeah.
Of the three lines we have done so far, I'm the only person who has... Dylan had proposed to Angie before I did, and Abby got married to her before I did.
Hey, she also proposed to.
What happens, man?
Yeah, as I
Second.
said, see, when I go visit Abby, yeah, they're just visiting a friend who's a whole guy, so it's definitely our honeymoon.
She'll be here a whole week.
And I'm gonna take that entire week and go east and go hang out with someone that might actually appreciate me. Charles.
Ouch! You know what, Dallin, you want to come west with me?
What, to hang out with Abby and Sass and Haku? Yes, duh. Please,
I'll be here.
I'd take you with me if I could.
please. I want to go.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna be trying not to die of anxiety trapped between a window and two strangers. At
gonna
least
go
it's not
meet
between two
people.
strangers.
True. Oh, fine.
All
You
right.
can go west and I'll go hang out with Wilson.
Yeah, I made sure
Yeah.
to get a window seat so I wouldn't be between two people I don't know, and also so I don't have to be asked by two people to move constantly, so I can just be undisturbed and hope no one
Oh.
talks to me for long
You know
periods
what?
of time.
Better idea, Dallin. If you go out west and go hang out with them, I will commit social and physical suicide by going south and hanging out with Patrick.
Oh, he's on stream, right?
I know.
I don't know if he's still on stream still or not.
I don't care.
Also, I think you
He
meant.
is still in stream.
I think you meant Sudoku.
That's true. I'm
Anyway.
sorry. My apologies for mispronouncing. But also, yeah.
Time
But
to
yeah,
get the
I
good
have
one.
I have the cheat sheet up. We ready?
Yep,
Sweet.
this one's called Good Karma. If you get the achievement for it, if you get the good, not the good, the better ending, the best ending, as they call it. Was it this one?
The red one.
Yes.
Ooh, wait, I can throw those away.
Thank
Okay.
God they're color coded. All right. First answer: use the sword.
This is a sword fight, and I'll win with the sword, not my magic. I don't need to trick Klaude to best him. My eyes fall on Claude's arms. His stance is rigid and unwavering. It's a sign that he's trying to keep his whole body steady and his defense solid. But I saw the edge of my blade against his and duck out of the way as he slices past my head. Claude's eyes widen as I lower my weapon to elbow him in the gut. My elbow barely connects before he takes a step back and grabs hold of my arm.
A valiant effort, my love, but I'm afraid you found the wrong opening.
As always, his cockiness is one of his weaknesses. I flip the pommel of his sword and grip it with my other hand, then aim it at his stomach. Klaude releases my wrist and dodges out of the way. We both raise our swords at the same time. Our weapons once again collide. I force myself to step forward, even beneath the weight of his sword. Then, arm shaking, I slowly slide my sword away. Claude's blade stops inches from my shoulder, but my sword is closer. I aim the point at his heart with a smile. Every time I put myself in a dangerous situation, Klaude pauses. This gives me the opening I need. And with that, I seal my victory. Klaude sets the sword down and holds up his hands, a sly smile playing on his lips.
Fair enough. It seems you have bested me today.
That's cheating. Yep.
But only because you cheated.
I didn't cheat. You told me to best you in whatever way I could, so I... Klaude lowers the sword at a point at his heart with a carefree laugh. He takes a step forward, settling close enough that we could touch noses. You... The rest of my words fall apart when Klaude presses his lips to mine, silencing me. For a few moments, I stand frozen. The only sounds I can hear in the stillness of the forest are my own erratic heartbeat and the gentle flutter of leaves. Slowly, I begin to kiss him back, moving my free hand to his back. When he pulls away, he is still somehow smiling at me mischievously.
You said seal your victory, but you know that a victory isn't sealed without a kiss. It's worth seeing you cheat just to see you turn that adorable tomato red.
I didn't cheat. I watch as Klaude leans down to pick up his sword. He winks at me.
Yes, I know. All's fair in love and war, as they say.
And skip. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't realize that sealing a victory meant ending a battle with a kiss. I stare at her in horror. That was... I'm just teasing.
Hey!
Garland smiles as he runs a hand through his hair.
What a good day for a victory, though. One could say it was almost a birthday gift.
It's not a gift at all. Lucette earned this victory by herself.
The only victories I accept are ones I earn myself.
You see?
And skip.
Give me a second if my line comes up. I need a charger.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Still the chameleon. We got that one right.
Okay.
Refuse.
Refuse help. I gently push his hand away and move to stand on my own. I'm fine, thank you. I better not give him more reason than necessary to shower me with attention. I stand and brush my dress off briskly. I notice emotion out of the corner of my eyes and look up to see Klaude striding towards us. He moves to stand beside me, a tight smile on his face.
How rude it is of my brother to knock a beautiful lady over.
I'm afraid all I can do in this situation is offer a heartfelt apology.
Lance smiles a little sheepishly before he turns his full attention to Klaude. Boop. We're just gonna take the fast route. I think.
Attempt to create a rose.
Okay, we did the other one last time. An ice spell would be safe, but perhaps I can cheer Klaude up with something new. Made a lot of things before, but never a rose. Still, it cannot be that difficult, surely. I hold out my hands, cupping them in front of me to create a small platform. I squint down at the palm of my hands, concentrating the magic in my body into my fingers. The magic beneath my hands is a subtle thing, but 2 years of practice has made it easier to grip and shape into something. I close my eyes briefly, imagining the shape of a rose. The first thing that comes to mind is the rose lock on Claude's chest. I attempt to draw the shape of it out into reality. I can shape ice. This is nothing. Oh!
That's...
I open my eyes and stare down at the object in my hands.
Did it work?
Oh!
Wait, she got the colors right, too?
Hey.
It's indeed a rose, but much to my disgruntlement, it's flat. Extremely flat.
Hey.
The shape resembles the flat metallic shape of Claude's black rose locket, only it's awkwardly balanced on the vibrant green stem. A single wiry leaf jumps out from the stem. A sigh as Rose caves in on itself. This is not impressive at all. I will try again. But...
Lucette, wait!
Klaude takes a step forward and then reaches past my shoulders. He touches his fingers to the petal of the delicate rose. Much to my relief, they do not fall. I think it's beautiful.
I agree with Emmeline.
Klaude smiles as he plucks the rose from my fingers. He holds the strange flattened flower up to his nose and smells it.
It also smells far better than any normal rose.
No, I want to smell it.
I'm inclined to agree. And a rose made out of magic is more special than a rose plucked from a rose bush. It's lovely, Lucette. Also, good call making the rose out of the punch. You got the colors right.
But it's so flat. It looks like it may have fall off the stem at any moment. I shake my head slightly and attempt to snatch it away from Klaude. He only holds it out of my reach with a mischievous smile. Fine, you can keep it then. Klaude smiles. He holds the rose carefully in one hand and then leans down to kiss my cheek.
I most certainly will.
He keeps the rose clutched gently in between his fingers as Lance turns to me.
That was amazing, Lucette.
To a hallway. Okay, that wasn't very far. Before the two of us go our own separate ways, Klaude turns to me with the rose still in his fingers.
I'm going to return this to the room first.
I'm sure that when you see it later tonight, it'll have caved in on itself.
You have no faith in me, Lucette.
It's more that I have no faith in the rose. Klaude flicks my forehead, bringing me back into reality. Next time you do that, I'll freeze your pretty eyelashes. Klaude bats its eyelashes at me and chuckles.
I wouldn't mind. It would be a nice change in aesthetic, I think.
He plants a quick kiss on my forehead.
Until we next reconvene, my love.
After a quick exchange of farewells, we separate and go our own ways. The day turns out to be busier than I had anticipated. Except for a short hour break in between, I barely see Klaude. He manages to give me his gift for the day in between our responsibilities.
And you can skip now. We've done this.
Oh yeah, I can. Boop.
Yeah. Also, is this the beginning of Frosted Tips? Anyway, join him.
I was trying so hard not to make that joke.
I was gonna do it.
Well, that will be fine. Klaude knows how to focus. I make my way over to where he's sitting at the piano and quietly slide into the bench beside him. The song doesn't stop. Even when Klaude inclines his head towards me slightly, the gentle smile never falters. In fact, his eyes seem to gleam even more when he notices I sit beside him.
Well, well, this is the most pleasant surprise. I was wondering when you'd be back.
I set one of my hands down on his knee and lean my head into his shoulders. It's been a long day.
I'm sorry I couldn't lighten your workload, darling. You deserved a more lax day today. You deserve to be spoiled.
His playing at the piano ceases as he puts a hand on top of mine. Klaude, you spoil me every day. Sometimes too much. This is fine. I furrow my eyebrows slightly, realizing that my presence has probably put a damper on his playing. I interrupted your playing, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing, darling? You know what I always say.
Klaude smiles at me mischievously.
I always notice the most pertinent things, and you are far more important than any piano piece.
He laces his fingers through mine before leaning forward to press a gentle kiss to my lips. The feeling of his lips on mine causes my earlier stress to melt away completely. Everything around us fades to a gentle blur when I kiss him back. For some time, it feels like the world has stopped around us, and there is just the two of us. Times like this, it feels like we have all the time in the world for each other. I'm the first to pull away. I poke Klaude in the chest and smile as I slide off the bench. What song were you playing? Skip.
Oh.
Suggest he go to Klaude.
Oh, okay. You said Klaude is better at spotlights, right? Then he should be able to help you. The two of you are brothers. He knows you better than anyone else. Even though Klaude gets jealous of Lance frequently, the two of them are still brothers. I know Klaude loves him. And Claude's overwhelming confidence allows him to speak to crowds with ease. Most people find him very charismatic.
Hasn't Klaude been really busy lately? Recently, I wouldn't want to take away any of the free time he has with you.
Lance. Lance has a forlorn look in his eyes. He stares past me at the door, his eyebrows furrowed. Llama. He flushes a crimson red that has me smiling despite myself. He and Klaude are similar in the strangest ways. Me as well as Klaude, I wouldn't mind sitting in during your practices if time with me was ever a problem. Besides, I already get ample time with Klaude, despite what he might say. Most of the time, he's just needlessly dramatic. Though I have to agree that we both have been pressed for time this week. Hopefully things will settle down after tomorrow's celebration.
I will try asking him then, though...
Say it more decisively. You will ask him. Lance laughs, a little sheepishly, then clears his throat and speaks in a voice filled with conviction.
I promise that I will ask him.
Good.
Oh.
Oh, we've skipped to the future.
You're right.
This one.
Allow him to tag along and I will be right back, real quick.
Okay, well, we'll wait, I guess.
Hang on, I haven't gone anywhere yet. It's, crap, and I have to be here for this. It's remain silent, but I do have to get up. I will be back.
We will wait. I could almost reach my vanity with my headset on. Almost. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what we did.
Oh, we did that one. That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Lance took my suggestion to ask Claude for assistance at the heart, which means that I have to find time to work for all three of us. In the end, we decided on a time after Claude's lesson. That is why we're all gathered in the dining hall now.
You're so stiff you could be a sculpture.
Lance attempts to relax his shoulders and ends up slouching.
Llama. Have you forgotten all those lessons we took together? I thought your memory was better than that.
Lance smiles sheepishly. I notice his eyes flicker to me, then down to the floor again. Am I making him nervous? I could leave.
No.
They both speak at the same time. Claude sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. For a few moments, annoyance flickers into expression, then quickly fades away.
I'm sorry, Karma.
Apologize by getting it right. I know you can do this. We both took speaking lessons together. Now start again.
Lance once again squares his shoulders and looks at the two of us solemnly. He's about to speak when Claude holds out a hand.
Why do you look so angry? If you have that scowl fixed to your face, you'll intimidate your audience.
Lance cringes as he tries to tell his expression as something gentler. A small smile slips onto his face and Claude sighs again.
Now you're smiling. What exactly is the problem?
You know the problem. I'm terrible at crowds.
No, that's not it. You've spoken to crowds plenty of times before. It has nothing to do with the audience at all, does it? It's the subject material.
Well, of course I would be stressed about the subject material. This is a speech announcing my inevitable ascension to the throne. How can I not be stressed about it? Most times I feel like I'm not worthy of the title of king.
When Claude remains silent, Lance crosses his arms and looks at him quizzically.
Huh?
Claude's only response is a sullen glare. Why is he so angry?
We can remain silent.
Remain silent?
Yes, remain silent again.
It's a lot of.
Also,
No
I
talking.
just noticed something.
Hmm.
I got that one wrong. Actually, the last answer was interject. My bad. I was in the wrong section.
Let's just go back.
Really?
I want to know what they say!
Oh my god. You're killing me, Smalls. Alright. Keep clicking. You got a ways to go. It was after remain silent or interject. It was between the brothers. Keep going. You got a ways to go. Oh, we can't go back anymore? Crap. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, that was my bad. This one is still sword fighting. And then tease him, believe it or not.
Oh, Billy was right. Perhaps a change of atmosphere is for the better. I'm disappointed, Chameleon Prince. Claude looks up at me, startled.
What?
Klaude sometimes refers to himself by that nickname where he's being a little dramatic, like during his sword practices. It's just an extension of his nickname from home, but seems to do wonders for his self-confidence. I stand up and cross my arms. The chameleon prince I know is always overfilled with confidence. He faces his problems head-on and does not let his emotions get the better of him. I would go so far to say that he even shares his problems with confidence without thinking them a weakness. The man sitting here before me is indeed a petty man, but only because he lowers himself to such.
Who's that?
That was genius.
I'm afraid you've been demoted to just chameleon now.
Correct.
Klaude rises from the bench and takes a step toward me.
Did you just say demoted?
Heresy. The highest accord.
Your heart is as cold as ice, love.
She's back.
Perhaps, but at least I wear my ice-cold heart on my sleeve. Klaude puts a hand to his chest and sighs out dramatically. Much to my relief, he is now wearing a smile on his face.
And yet that wasn't always the case, wasn't it? Was it? Somehow you always manage to upstage me, darling. You know how hard I've been working to be the perfect prince.
Of course I do, and that's exactly why I think that you hide things from me. That you hiding things from me is so foolish. It may be wise to hide things in front of other people, but I'm not just some other person, am I?
Of course not.
You see?
The cupcake.
It swapped places this time.
And this time it is scold him.
Oh.
Oh.
No, it was not. You ought to have said something to Klaude before it came to this. Lance furrows his eyebrows at me.
This has always been how Claude and I solve our problems.
By driving to each other to the pinnacles of a fight?
Yeah.
He deflates with a soundless sigh.
Not very sensible, is it?
No, not at all, and it seems to me it would be a lot easier to tell someone how you feel before letting it get to that point. Otherwise, your public aggression mars other people's opinions of you.
You're refreshingly honest, Princess. I hope you plan on scolding Claude for this as well.
Scold him for what, exactly?
For being ungentlemanly and petty.
Petty. Anyway, I think it would be helpful to have a better way to vent your aggression. That goes for Claude, too. Lance looks about ready to say something, but then I notice him looking past my shoulder. He quickly diverts his eyes.
Yeah, we can skip.
Woo! Oh, or not.
Skipper.
No, we can't.
There we go.
Claude says no.
No. Yes, I was going to scold you, as any older brother ought to, but it seems my lovely fiancé has already done so for me.
Eavesdropping.
Of course not, I just happen to have very good ears. Since it's...
Oh, there it goes.
Says blah, 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 blah.
And beauty.
Could have warned me.
And we're done.
No.
No, surprises.
No warnings.
Only surprises.
If the invitation is correct, then this should be the place.
What do we get an invitation for? Claude and I paused in front of the doors to the throne room. Claude still holding an anonymous invitation that arrived at our door earlier. Oh, I think I know what this is. He pulls his gaze from the invitation up to the double doors. The sound behind the door is muted but not inaudible. We could hear the chattering sounds of a boisterous crowd even while we were still standing at the end of the hall.
Darling, what is this?
I wonder. Klaude raises an eyebrow at me as he tucks the envelope into one of his pockets and starts forward. He pushes the doors to the throne room open without hesitation.
It's an empty room! Surprise!
Woo! It was ghosts! Stepping into the throne room
Oh,
was
it's
like
illusion
stepping
magic.
into another, more richly decorated world. Elaborate tables filled with overwhelming displays of food and decorations stand beneath a dazzling array of sparkling chandeliers and vibrant lights. Claude stares at everything wide-eyed. He's odd. He's at a loss for words. His being at a loss for words makes me smile. Alright, have a good night, Ren. Thanks for stopping in.
Sure.
What? Cat got your tongue?
What is all of this? It's nearly midnight.
The minute he says the words, the clock chimes 12. The sound, though muted, still chimes in the background beneath the layers of the live orchestra music. Oh, okay, it's one of the midnight balls to remind him of home.
Oh.
Of course it is. Of course it's midnight. It wouldn't be a midnight ball otherwise. Claude stares around him once again, his confusion giving way to a bright smile.
A midnight ball. Did Lance tell you about them?
He did. I've been working with him and Emmeline to create an accurate portrayal as possible. Claude directs his attention to the center of the room, where various rose decorations have been put on display. Performers, some of them witches, surround the perimeter of the room and perform for all in attendance.
Lucette.
He turns to me.
I love it, darling.
He leans down to kiss me softly in the lips, but only briefly before turning away with a strange look on his face.
Was it Llama's suggestion to throw the celebration tonight?
It was, but why does it matter?
It's no wonder he put off leaving Angio.
Oh, this is after the wedding, okay.
Maybe.
Oh.
He frowns at someone in the crowd. I follow his gaze to Lance, who's dancing at the center of the ballroom with Emmeline. Both of them are too engaged with each other to even spare us a glance.
Leave it up to Lance to ruin my plans in the best way possible.
Your plans? Claude's friend disappears, and the heartbeat smile has returned to his face. He pulls me closer to him and kisses the top of my head.
It's nothing, darling. For now, we celebrate.
He leads me right to the middle of the crowd, and from then on, the atmosphere of the midnight party shifts. Even the nobles whom I do not usually speak with are more open in front of Claude, and the night becomes one filled with chatter and cheer. Everywhere we go, there are congratulations and handshakes. Ah! I hit the button before I was done. For greeting so many people would have been overwhelming, but Claude exudes so much confidence, it's impossible not to get wrapped up in the moment. Most everyone from the Martian is here tonight, along with guests both esteemed and foreign. I speak with as many of my acquaintances as I can that night, and on occasion even chase after one of them when he makes no sign of having noticed me. Garland! Garland stops and whirls to face me. His face beet red. Is something wrong? Why is he so flushed?
I wish for Dad.
I saw him patrolling the outside area earlier, but he was pacing back and forth and looking restless. I glanced down at his hands and noticed one of them has closed into a fist.
Oh.
No, nothing to report, Your Highness.
What is it that you're holding?
Nothing.
Garland lets out a deep sigh before uncurling his fingers. I startle when I see a small, palm-sized box in his hands. He quickly closes his fingers over the box again.
It's a ring. For Jurian.
It takes me a few moments to understand. But once I do, I cannot help the smile that pulls at my lips.
I made certain that we both got the same breaks tonight so that I could, well, you know.
Are you proposing a jury in public? If you propose a jury in public, she would punch you, wouldn't she?
Absolutely. But even worse than that, I'd lose my words in the crowd.
Still surprises me that Garland's confidence never wavers when he deals with his fellow knights, but anything related to Jurian makes him blush. Good luck, Garland. I'm certain she'll accept.
I really hope so. You and Prince Klaude will be the first people to know the outcome, whatever the case.
It's a good thing he didn't tell Klaude he was going to propose. It would have been much harder to get him to this ball if he insisted on spying on them. Garland gives a polite bow before heading off, cheeks still flushed.
I love Garland.
Same. Best side character. Aside from Delora. I'm sure that he'll be fine. Julian will definitely accept.
Princess Lucette. There he is.
Lance suddenly stands before me with a mischievous smile on his face. Emily is standing beside him, laughing breathlessly. The coy smile takes me by surprise. What else do you have planned, Lance?
Princess.
It's just Lucette now. Lance is technically my brother-in-law now. He ought to call me by my name without my title. When I told him a few days ago, he apologized profusely and told me he was unaccustomed to calling me without my title.
Sorry, Lucette. But as for plans, yes, I do have something in mind.
You chose to stay for a reason, didn't you?
Of course.
He then briefly explains the rest of his plan to me. I'm surprised by what he suggests, but not so overwhelmed that I back down.
I'll keep Klaude occupied for the time being.
And I'm going with you, Lucette. I want to help you get dressed. That won't be necessary. You'll be done a lot faster with someone helping you, I promise. Emmeline takes my hand and drags me behind her out of the throne room. There, done. Emmeline steps away from me with a smile.
That was big.
You look lovely, Lucette. She eyes the glass slippers on my feet. I've only worn them on rare occasions, and it's strange to be wearing them now, but Emily insists they suit the dress Klaude bought me for my birthday. I still don't see why I had to come back and change. Couldn't I have just come into the ball with this dress in the first place? It wouldn't have been like Cinderella if she showed up with the prince. Like Cinderella? You read the fairy tale enough times to know. You surprised Klaude with the ball, but Lance wanted to help you surprise him some other way. But why? You'll see. She takes my hand and pulls me back to the throne room. When we return to the throne room doors, I realize immediately that something is different. Though there are sounds behind the door, they are more subdued. The loud music from earlier is gone. I'll go in first. Wait a few minutes after me, okay? Lance said you'd probably know when what the signal was. Wait, what is happening?
Yes.
Emmeline's only response to my question is a smile. See you on the other side, Lucette. Emmeline pushes the doors open and steps inside. For a few moments, I consider following her, and despite what she said, but then I feel a noticeable shift in the atmosphere. This. Then suddenly I hear it. I recognize the song immediately.
Oh.
It's soft and quiet, barely audible, and perhaps not suited to a midnight ball at first, but this song, Klaude? I make my way into the throne room. I half expect to see Klaude sitting at the piano playing a song, but he's nowhere to be seen. The man at the piano is one of the court musicians. How does he know the song? I suddenly become aware of the fact that the room is quiet save for the song, and that everyone has turned to look at me. I feel mildly uncomfortable with so many people staring at me. But this is not like 2 years ago where the people looked at me in fear. Everyone here just looks awestruck, and that the people I know are all smiling. I notice someone shifting through the crowd and turn to gaze at them as they emerge into the middle of the ballroom floor, where the crowd has already parted. Klaude is staring at me, awestruck. In that moment, I realize I forget about everyone else there and smile only at him. It was worth putting this on just to see that look on his face. Klaude startles, then smiles back at me just as brightly. He holds out his hand, and I begin to walk toward him.
May I have this dance, Cinderella?
Cinderella? I have no idea who you're referring to. I slide my hand into his with a grin. Aww. He settles his other hand on the small of my back and pulls me closer.
You're right. It's wrong of me to compare you to Cinderella. After all, she couldn't hold a candle to you.
Oh? I thought you were fond of calling me Ice Princess, and now here you are using fire metaphors again.
I'm spontaneous, remember? Just say whatever comes to my mind.
He begins to dance first, and I fall in the step immediately beside him. We have danced together so many times I don't even have to think about each other's movements. It isn't long before the area around us is crowded with other couples twirling and spinning beneath the same lights. Is this all spontaneous then? Did you learn this song from one of the musicians?
No, I taught the song to him. The night was supposed to go very different before Lance meddled. You know, I was going to have someone play this song in your room. I was going to dance with you on the balcony. And then after that, I would serenade you into the night.
He glances down at my dress and at my shoes.
Instead, it seems that Lance somehow managed to orchestrate my plan out here. I told him about it before, and now it's turned out that he's used the information against me.
How dare he?
So rather than you surprising me, it was I who surprised you.
You think Llama's so nice, but then he goes and does things like this just to ruin my plans. Though I do have to admit that he made this a lot more spectacular than I anticipated. What do you think of the song?
He draws me closer to him after an underarm twirl. For a few moments, I remain pressed against his chest, smiling. I love it. Where did you learn it?
Learn it? I composed it for you, darling. And now apparently the whole kingdom will know that.
I catch Lance's eyes as we're twirling. He only winks as we spin away from him. That's fine. It's a beautiful song and I hope more people start playing it.
Yes, and in your honor.
He pulls me close enough to plant a quick kiss on my lips.
You look radiant in that dress, Lucette.
Only because it's a beautiful dress chosen by a man who happens to be the best connoisseur.
You flatter me, love.
He dips me and presses his forehead to mine.
It is my greatest pleasure in life to spoil you, you know?
Someday, our responsibilities to the kingdom will have to come first. One day, the king will ask me about a family, but for now... Wrap my arms around Klaude's neck and kiss him. But for now, I still can. I want to enjoy spoiling Klaude and being spoiled by him. I love you, Klaude.
I love you too, my darling Lucette.
Two of us continue to twirl under the chandeliers, two stars revolving around each other in a dazzling, beautiful, personal universe. And their love lasted forevermore. And we get chameleon.
Hooray!
Ooh.
Hey.
Skip.
Another ending done.
Alright, what's this card look like? Show me the card!
Eventually.
At some point.
Or don't.
There it is.
Ah.
Nice. And then next week, we get our hearts ripped out when we're reminded of all the people who died in Fritz's story.
Oh, right.
I mean, I wasn't ready to see him be dead in this one, because I kind of forgot about that,
right.
and I was not ready for that few, those few seconds.